You're listening to Arirang Radio's Wonders of Jeju. This is a segment where we tell you about the lives of people living right here on the island. I'm your host, DJ Jamie. This is Humans of Jeju. Hello, Jay. Welcome into the studio. This is Humans of Jeju, and we introduce Jeju people who are living in many ways. And we've got with us in the studio right now, Jay, to introduce another human of Jeju. Hello, Jay. Welcome in.
Hi, Jamie.
It's good to see you. You're looking very cute today. Very warm.
Yeah, staying warm.
Yeah,
it's
I
snowing
can
a
see.
lot outside.
Like I'm thinking, like our camellias must see us and feel like it's so cold here, but it's not. Not the studio's not cold. It's outside that's cold.
Outside is freezing. It is.
All right, but you're looking very nice with the studio today. The blue and the white and the red all go nice with our studio. Very nice. Okay, so you're going to be introducing a human today. I'm wondering who that might be.
Yes, so let's go right in and listen to today's Human of Jeju.
Okay.
안녕하세요. 제주 원도심의 골목에서 문구사를 운영 중인 김미혜입니다. 어른이 되어서 다시 접하게 된 문구의 세상을 더 알고 싶어서 문구사를 시작하게 되었습니다.
All right, could you please explain?
So we can see today's Human of Jeju. So we just heard from Kim Mi-hye, who is running a stationery store in the original downtown of Jeju City. As she became a grown-up, she somehow got reattached to stationaries. And wanting to know more about the world of stationeries, she began to collect and eventually came to open a stationery store of her own.
Wow, I used to love I still love stationery, but wow, so she actually turned this into a career. And I think we had a photo going up on our YouTube live stream for those who were tuning in. You can see a photo, you were able to see a photo of her, Kim Mi-hye, our Human of Jeju today. So when we talk about stationery stores, we are reminded of memories of the stores we used to visit when we were kids, like my memory. Then what is Kim Mi-hye's stationery store like?
So the uniqueness that differentiates her stationery store to the other stores is that her store carries classic types of stationeries.
Classic. Interesting.
So even the name of the store is Classic Stationery Store.
Oh.
And let's listen to what she means by classic.
Okay.
클래식은 형용사적 의미로 최고의 전형적인 전통스럽고 예스러운 그런 뜻을 가지고 있어요. 그래서 클래식함을 느끼는 정도는 개인 취향이 있긴 하겠지만 잘 만들어져서 멋진 빈티지 가구라든지 오래전부터 꾸준한 디자인으로 생산되고 있는 그런 것들을 보면 클래식하다라는 느낌을 받아요. 문구용품도 오래 쓰고 보아도 질리지 않게 생긴 것들을 찾아다니는데 이곳에서는 클래식함을 느낄 수 있는 문구류들을 소개하고 싶어서 이름을 짓게 되었어요. 부러지기 쉬운 가벼운 플라스틱이나 유행하는 캐릭터가 마구 그려진 패턴의 학용품에서는 찾을 수 없는 느낌이에요.
I'm afraid to go here because I know I'm not going to be able to leave. Can you explain?
So you can see through the pictures that the store has kind of a scent and a vibe of old Jeju house.
Yeah.
In the interview, she mentioned that the word classic has a traditional and antique meaning. And like that, she thinks products that are well made with consistent design for a long period of time are what's considered classic products.
I see.
So Kim Mi-hye is working to build a store that introduces stationeries that can be used for a long period of time and something that people can't get enough of. You know, they just always want it.
Right.
So also she especially does not carry products that are not made with like light plastics. Which are easily breakable and have like trendy characters on it. Like, because they're classic.
Right. I see. That makes sense. So the store sounds like a very interesting stationery store, not your normal stationery store, carrying classic products. Then is Kim Mi-hye Jeju native or did she move to the island?
So she's not a Jeju native. So we asked her about how she came to Jeju. In her early 20s, she got a job in a company which she kind of worked for until she moved to Jeju Island. While working for the company, she mentioned that she gave a lot of energy trying to kind of fit in with the employees and do well on her work because she has a very introverted personality.
I see.
But overcoming all that, she did really well at the company and she thought her life was very well. But she kind of find herself every time she came back home after work, she would be very tired, and she kind of had hard time doing all this like repeated routines, like having to go to work, come back home, work, and wanting to just. And every time she had a break, she mentioned that she always wanted to just stay home, didn't want to go out, just wanted to relax.
I see.
So from that, she wanted to take a break from her working life and reduce making uncomfortable meetings where she has to meet all these people and have time to think about herself. So the place that she selected was Jeju, since it's quite far from the place that she was actually living in, and because Jeju has nobody that she knows.
I see.
And it kind of became this like resting place for her.
Oh, wow. Interesting. I'm so glad that she kind of found her way. And coming to rest in Jeju, I'm curious to know how she got interested in collecting stationeries. Has she had the hobby before coming to Jeju?
So it wasn't a hobby that she had before, and working for a company for a long time, she was far from being interested about stationery.
I see.
Because she didn't really have much, she didn't use it a lot during her work. But by chance, she came in touch with the stationaries when she came to Jeju. So let's listen to what she mentioned about it.
Okay.
클래식한 문구를 좋아하지만 좋아하니까 팔아야지, 문구사를 해야지라고 생각하진 않았어요. 회사 생활을 하다 보니 문구를 거의 안 썼고요. 10년째 다니던 회사를 그만두고 최소한의 것들만 가지고 제주로 이사를 왔어요. 모았던 문구를 엄마 집에 다 두고 왔었어요. 근데 가끔 엄마가 반찬을 보내주실 때 제가 놓고 간 물건을 덤으로 함께 넣으신 거예요. 상상도 못한 온갖 잡다한 것들이 랜덤으로 왔어요. 어느 날은 택배에 문구 상자가 딸려왔어요. 거기에는 모아뒀던 한정판, 몰스킨, 스티커, 만년필, 연필 등이 있었어요. 그 중에 연필에 대한 추억과 함께 연필 소리가 듣고 싶어지더라고요. 반가운 연필로 몰스킨에 일기를 쓰기 시작했어요. 사각거리는 느낌이 좋아서 뭐라도 더 쓰고 싶어서 책 필사도 하게 됐고요. 그렇게 연필을 다시 쓰면서 요즘 어떤 연필이 나오나 인터넷으로 검색하면서 조금씩 사서 쓰게 되었어요. 그런데 제주도에서는 원하는 문구류를 쉽게 구하기 힘들었어요. 눈으로 직접 보고 사지 못하는 게 아쉬워서 내가 문구사를 해야겠다고 마음 먹게 되었죠.
Can you please explain for our camellias?
So, as we mentioned before, she also mentioned again that when she was working for a company for 10 years, she really hadn't had much of opportunity to work with like stationery items. When she decided to come to Jeju Island, she came with very small amount of stuff that she can actually bring with her. So her mom would send her with her like some foods for her. She would send her items. And through those items, there was some stationery, such as notes and writing utensils. Out of all the items, one thing that especially caught her heart, she mentioned, was the pencils that her mom sent her. Remembering the sound of the pencil writing on a note, they make those like... She said she began to write with pencil again and using it to write a diary and even transcribe a book.
Wow.
So she said it was then when she really started to use the pencil again.
Oh, wow. That's very interesting. Wow. Yeah, I love the sound and the smell of pencils too. Don't you?
Me too.
And I like cutting them too, like with a knife. Sharpening them with a knife. Yeah, I kind of understand it. So it was from old stationeries that her mother sent to her that started her collection of stationeries. That's amazing.
If you are in Jeju,
88.7 in Jeju City,
88.1 in Seogwipo City,
101.9 in the Daejeong area.
Arirang Radio.
Hey, if you don't see me in the studio tomorrow, you'll know where I will be. I will be at the stationery store, the classic stationery store, looking at everything, buying everything. We've posted some photos on our Instagram, so go check it out. So today we're introducing a very wonderful stationery store, and the owner of the store is Kim Mi-hye, who collects classical stationeries. And so far we talked about where she, how she fell in the world of stationeries from pencils that she found in a package that her mother sent to her. So what happened from there?
So, starting to write again, like using pencils, she mentioned she began to search the web to find what kind of pencils are out there.
Wow.
And she started to buy them and then even using them herself.
Oh, that's how it started.
Right. And while doing so, she found out that it's actually not easy to find the types of stationaries that you want around Jeju Island.
Mm-hmm.
And she was very disappointed by this, not being able to actually go to a stationery store and have the chance to see it in person before you buy it. And it got her thinking. So that's how she decided that she wanted to start a stationery store of her own.
Wow, this is giving me the goosebumps. So it just came naturally to her. That's interesting. So her idea of starting a stationery store came after realizing that the stuff that she really likes and she was searching for on the internet was not easy to find. That's amazing.
But she mentioned there are a lot that she had to consider as well. You know, it wasn't just, oh, I'm going to open it. But,
of course.
So
yeah.
while working in Seoul, she said she did dream of running a store of her own.
Oh.
She actually imagined of running a flower shop or cafe.
Okay.
But she never learned such skills, so she was very hesitant about it. But then she got in touch with the world of stationery. Also, she says she has a special reason for starting a store in the original downtown of Jeju City as well.
Oh.
And that is, she mentioned she was attracted to the narrow alley, old house, old store signs, and the old building because of the traditional and old-fashioned that it brings out.
Oh, so it kind of goes and matches her collection, which is classical items. That is amazing. I really cannot wait to go here myself. The stationery store with old Jeju store vibe sounds so interesting. Then what is her daily routine like running a store in Jeju? What is that like?
Let's listen to what her day is like.
Okay.
아침에는 집에서 나와서 탑동에서 아침을 먹거나 카페에서 사무적인 일을 해요. 그리고 가게까지 운동 삼아 산책하면서 걸어서 출근을 해요. 그리고 택배가 와 있으면 정리하면서 재고를 채우고 부족한 상품을 주문하는 일을 해요. 그러다 보면 12시에 중앙성당에서 종이 울려요. 그때 문을 열고 손님을 맞고 손님이 없을 때 저도 문구를 사용해보는 시간을 가져요. 그러다가 저녁 6시에 또 성당에서 종이 울려요. 그러면 가게 문을 닫고 흐트러진 물건들을 정리하고 가게 청소를 하고 퇴근을 합니다.
Oh, I like her daily routine. Can you explain it?
So her daily life, the routine of
It's
hers,
so nice.
is like everyone's daily life.
Not really.
But it has a, it has a different vibe.
It does.
Because she likes the Tapdong area. So she said she likes to eat breakfast there, enjoy the cafes, and do some business work in the morning within the area as well. Also, as an exercise, she likes to walk to her work, to her stationery store. Then if there are packages of items that arrived at the store, she says she checks the items and organizes them. And if she finds the items that she needs to stock, she orders them as well.
Oh.
But here's the interesting part. As she does all this, when she hears the sound of the bell that rings from the Catholic church nearby, she says that it's noon. So the bell tells her what time it is.
Right.
And that's when she opens her store to greet the customers.
So the bell rings, the door opens.
And the customers come in. And when there's no customer, she mentions that she likes to try out the stationaries herself. So she's always experimenting with them as well. And after spending the day doing all this and that, the bell from the church rings again to tell her that it's 6 p.m.
Yeah.
And that's when she cleans her store up and closes to finish her day.
Why does this make me sigh? I like the very simpleness and, slow kind of lifestyle that she is enjoying. But of course, she probably is busy in between the bells.
Yeah. Her work sounds classic too, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, classy comments from you. So it seems like she's living a very well-regulated and diligent life. I'm wondering, what kind of stationery does she carry that she would like to recommend for us to try out?
So let's listen to what she recommended.
Okay.
네, 연필이요. 다들 이미 접했던 연필이지만 현재는 존재조차 잊어버린 사람들이 많이 있을 거예요. 저도 제주에서 우연한 계기로 연필을 다시 잡게 되면서 어렸을 때의 기억도 많이 떠올랐고 연필의 사각사각거림이 너무 좋아서 필사를 하면서 독서를 하거나 연필로 메모하는 느낌이 좋아서 생각들을 끊임없이 적거나 연필로 인한 영감이 많이 생겨나더라고요.
So the bell rings and then you hear sakak, 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 sakak. And then the bell rings and then she goes home.
Yeah.
Can you please explain in more detail?
So I think now our listeners can guess what she recommends. The stationery that she would like to recommend is, first of all, pencils.
Right.
And she mentioned, if you think about it, actually, there are many who have forgotten the existence of pencils, you know, because we're now typing on our keyboards, or actually a lot of us are using pens today.
Right.
So that was the case for her as well. But coming to Jeju and by chance coming to use pencil once again, it kind of reminded her of her childhood. And especially liking the special sound that the pencil make, the sagak sagak, when you write with them.
No, sagak sagak. It's sagak sagak.
Okay. It's sagak sagak.
Okay.
Oh, wow. She said she now has a habit of writing with only pencils. So,
Only pencils now. I like that habit. Let's all learn that habit. Okay, so that's true. It's really hard to find people writing with pencils these days. And like she mentions, I want to use the pencil now to hear that sound. The pencil makes when you write them down. I wish we had like a corner on our radio show where we had the kind of background music of
I think you do it very well, Jamie. So, yeah.
Thank you. All right. So, yeah.
Yeah. So also, but besides from the pencils, there was another type of stationery that she wanted to recommend as well.
Oh, what's that?
And that was the leather notebook.
Ooh, classic.
Classic, right? Leather. Whenever there's leather, it's classic.
Wow.
So between the leather cover, there are paper pages, which can be marked by like the string that hangs on the edge of the cover as like a bookmark.
Yeah.
So for those who draw, this notebook can be a sketchbook. For those who walk the old lit trail, she mentions it can actually be a stamp book as well.
Ooh, leather stamp book.
So the way she mentioned that she actually likes to use it is writing the plans for her travel and the informations about the places that she's going to travel. And she places her passport inside it, like in between it.
I see.
So the notebook is a simple stationery, but has a various usage according to how you use it. And what makes leather notebook special is that since it's made out of leather, you can actually cherish it for a long period of time.
Oh, that is so true. However, today, you know, everything is like digitalized, and it seems people's interest about stationery is kind of disappearing. Not for everybody, but for some people. How does Kim Mi-hye feel about that?
Yes, in today's world, artists are able to work without using papers and writing utensils.
Yeah.
Even within companies, documents are electronically created. So she believes that people's interest about stationery will disappear as well. And because of that, she thinks many stationery stores will also disappear or become actually like smaller in size as well. But as long as there are people who need stationery in their life, she believes that one old stationery store should always remain within the area.
That's a nice idea. So she seems to have aspiration of remaining as an original stationery store in the changing era. Nice to know.
Now,
All about Korea.
Arirang Radio.
Claire Shell says, "I'm a stationery artisan indeed. That completes it. I'm moving to Jeju."
Yes, come to Jeju.
Come and live in Jeju. You have everything you need, especially a classic stationery store by Kim Mi-hye. So we've been talking about her life and work on Jeju Island. Even in the era where everything is becoming digitalized, she's making efforts to keep our classic stationery alive. Can you tell us more about what the store means to her?
So we asked her what the stationery store means to her, and she replied with an interesting response.
Okay.
For her, the stationery store means her last work, last job. She mentioned that she has finally found the work that she thinks she is made for. And every day she has customers who she doesn't even know come and go. But from the compliments that she gets from the customers, she really feels the joy of running the store.
Oh, how nice.
And I could imagine, you know, receiving a lot of compliments about the store as well. But as we mentioned before, her personality is introverted. But she still struggles a little bit to greet customers, but she feels very comfortable in the space that she's in and said she has found her final job.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. All right. Well, so she calls it her last job. That's very an interesting way to call it. I admire that she has found something that she has so much passion about and pride for, and it is beautiful to see someone doing work that one enjoys. Don't you all agree with me? Then what are her plans for her store from now on in the future?
So we asked about her plans from now, and let's listen to what she mentioned first.
저는 일단은 문구사를 제가 이제 시작한 일이 마음에 들어요. 그래서 계속 오랫동안 하고 싶은데 이거를 이제 어떻게 오랫동안 유지를 할 수 있을지 항상 고민을 하고 있어요. 근데 앞으로는 뭐 제가 직접 문구를 만드는 일도 해봐야 될 것 같고 그리고 다양한 제가 그러니까 예술적인 경험이 없어서 그런 것도 많이 배워보고 싶고 그렇게 많이 배워서 적용해서 문구도 만들어보고 그렇게 해보고 싶어요.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to her products in the future. I really think she has a good idea there, but please explain.
So she wants to run the stationery store for a long time. And in order to do so, she's constantly thinking about how she can do it. First thing that she is trying is preparing to make stationery of her own. So she has plans of experiencing various artistic experiences in order to use such work into making her own stationery items. And through it, she hopes of creating classic stationery that people will like for a long period of time as well.
That's a great idea. And so in order to do something for a long run, it's important to go back to the beginning. And it seems owner Kim Mi-hye is doing just that. Starting from something she likes to open up a store to learning to make the products on her own, she really seems to be on the right track to run her store for a long time. Well, of course, it's not going to be easy to design your own product.
Right.
But because she spends so much time using them and evaluating them and understanding the value of these classical items, I'm pretty sure she's going to come up with something really nice.
She is, and she shows great interest and passion in her work, and she enjoys doing it as well. And recently, she also mentioned that she showed interest in making books by doing bookbinding works.
Oh, yeah, that is similar, isn't it?
Every time, in order to do such work, she continuously finds ways to learn about it. And such as recently, she's learning leather craft in order to make the beautiful leather covers of her own.
I
And
see.
as she continuously makes such efforts, she believes she'll be able to make stationery that she's always been dreaming of.
Oh, that is so nice. I cannot wait to go and check out the store owned by Kim Mi-hye, our human today. So that was our introduction to a classic stationery store and Jeju's owner, Kim Mi-hye, who is working with all of her passion here in the Jeju City area. And we wish her the best at the works she'll be doing from now on into the future. And hopefully a lot of our Camellias will go and check out her store. Thank you so much for your report, Jay. I almost changed your name.
It's okay.
And yeah, I'll be looking forward to seeing you again next week. So
Yes.
take care until then, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Wow,
Yes.
it's Christmas.
Enjoy.
Enjoy your Christmas. Well, I hope you enjoyed that segment. If you're curious to find out more about Jeju, we encourage you to go check out our website at arirangradio.com/Wonders of Jeju. Or you can check out our Facebook page at Wonders of Jeju, as well as our Instagram page at Wonders of Jeju. We're going to take you on a journey to learn more about what's happening here on the island.